Have you ever dreamed of living on a floating city? This is the story of a man who dreamed with eyes open. With 4 adventurers, he moved out to the open ocean. Not all would return. This was the humble beginning of their floating city. He was preparing for a 1,000-mile voyage to establish their city off the coast of Africa. His dream was to connect 20 of these platforms together to form a city that could host 4,000 people. Like all great pioneers, he has devoted his life to this cause.
I will die at the sea for sure. I'm not going back. I'm 58, so I think it is my last possible adventure. So better to finish in adventure than on a bed when you are very old.
Do you feel like this is your biggest adventure?
No, frankly no.
Not the biggest adventure?
No, my adventure has been much more dangerous for this one.
With a high-speed internet connection, he served as the ambassador for the African nation of Liberia, making this, in some sense, an embassy. An embassy for a nation whose very name is an homage to freedom. Before being a diplomat on international waters, Samuele Landi was a programmer who founded a billion-dollar company, coded the first VPN, and he was a teenage motorcycle racing champion in the Congo. Samuele Landi was uniquely qualified to be Liberia's high-tech, free-thinking liaison to the UAE. But what was he doing at sea?
And is the sea the last free place?
Yeah, it is. No, everybody's killing each other for a piece of land. You see in these days everywhere in the world, there are war for land. But the earth is 75% water, so there is a lot of space for human being if you're able just to settle at the sea.
In international waters, you have the chance for true independent governance. Seasteading will allow us to experiment with creating new societies, allowing for rapid innovation as seasteaders lie outside the reach of landed bureaucracies. But being an ocean pioneer involves countless challenges. Samuele and his crew were to face 2 huge storms. The first sunk his tugboat, leaving him without food for a month.
And what did you eat when you were cut off from the mainland for a month and you couldn't get any supplies? What did you do?
We started to catch fish. Was not too difficult, and the problem that we finished even the rice and the bread, so we had only to eat the fish for a long time, which was not so bad because I lose a lot of weight, and my wife was happy.
Samuele's dream was that 4,000 people would live on his floating city.
You're a friend, right? Okay, you can stay, no problem.
But first, he had to convince his wife to join.
The situation is not so good for a lady.
Yeah, your wife will probably live here all the time when there's a spa.
Yeah, she will move here for sure.
But this was not meant to be. On February the 2nd, 2024, disaster struck. The events that transpired are unclear, but we do know a huge storm split the barge in 2. 2 people were found alive, shipwrecked. Samuele was not among them. I was due to continue filming my documentary with Samuele in late January. A strange turn of events delayed my return to the barge. I was to accompany Samuele on a 1,000-mile voyage across the open ocean to a lost submerged continent off the coast of Africa. I set out to make a documentary about city-states, micronations, and seasteading, but with Samuele's untimely death, many questions remain unanswered. Who was Samuele Landi? How did he become a key advisor to 3 generations of Liberian presidents? What events occurred when a billion-dollar company he created collapsed? What drives a man to choose to live in international waters? What would life have been like on his city-state? To fund this documentary, email maverickmoves@protonmail.com.
When you put the seed, you see, it's only seed. Then it become a tree, and the tree make other seed. And the seed make other tree, it become a forest.